Change your mind.
Later, meet the young boy who thinks about 9-year-old Corbin Billings says that mission is to encourage all of us to do our share to clean up Tulsa's air. Corbin spoke today at a luncheon for the American Lung Association. He suffers from restrictive air disease and used his life savings to promote his clean air message. He printed bumper stickers to remind everyone to plant trees for better air quality. Corbin wants to show that kids can make a difference in the world.
Not only can adults make a difference if they try, so you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Now, all of the money from the sales of those bumper stickers goes to Corbin's Clean Air Fund. Corbin wants to see 1,000 trees planted in the Tulsa area, and we have a copy of one of those bumper stickers. Brad's holding it there.
Good for him.
Do your share to get clean air. Yeah, great project.
Well done, Corbin. Yeah.
We've got hot air today.
Exactly.
Boy, not from you. Outside.
Yes, it has been rather hot, but some relief.
When most of us feel overwhelmed, maybe we have bitten off more than we can chew. The next time you feel that way, Pete Knudsen says, remember 9-year-old Corbin Billings and his crusade to save the air we breathe.
There are those who have a real passion for protecting our environment, our trees, our air.
Pollution. I am passionate about cleaning up the air.
But a 9-year-old? You bet. A boy who surfs past the Cartoon Network for a channel dedicated to inspiring people to success. A boy who listens to motivational audio tapes.
I listened to Side 1. They talked about trial and error, living your dreams, doing great things for your world, and making a difference with your life.
And setting goals bigger than yourself, says Corbin Billings. Since he has allergies, his goal is clean air. Corbin's crusade started a couple of months ago with help from his mom. She's a therapist and motivational speaker and wrote a book called Greatness in Parenting, Learn the Rules.
One of the things that I discovered about children is that we're in real danger because we've got a false sense of self-esteem. We're telling kids that they're great, but they're not getting to prove it to themselves. They're not getting to take the risk that actually make it real inside.
Well, Corbin's certainly making it very real. He took his mom up on a deal. She'd pay him $2.55 an hour to listen to the motivational tapes and throw in some of his favorite Beanie Babies, too. They're his other passion. But clean air? Corbin's mom wondered what she had done.
Honestly, I teach this stuff, I write about this stuff, but when it's your own child, it's very scary because when he told me I want to change the air quality, first instinct was I wanted to try to talk him out of it.
But Corbin's more than talk. He spent the $1,000 in his savings to print bumper stickers. He's getting commitments from people to get enough money to plant 1,000 trees in Tulsa.
To make a difference.
Corbin's doing speeches for the American Lung Association and Up with Trees. He hopes to raise enough money to put up 9 billboards around town, one for each year he's been alive.
I have my days where I go to summer camp and just kind of hang out with my friends, but there are some other days where I need to accomplish things.
Accomplish some lofty goals, even though it's a big world out there, even though he's only 9 years old.
It doesn't matter on the size of your body. It matters on the size of your heart. So you can do anything if you just put your mind to it.
Thank you, Corbin. Corbin says another goal is to make sure some of the trees planted are fruit trees to give the homeless something to eat.
He looks like your average 9-year-old boy. But there's much more to Corbin Billings. Reach the eye. We'll go one-to-one with him and hear about his latest campaign. We can all benefit.
The area is known as green country because of all the trees we have, but are there enough? That's what this young man says. He says no. We'll tell you about his crusade to bring more trees to green country and why he says there aren't. Thanks a lot, Al. And we also have more for you tonight. We all talk, of course, about doing good things for the environment, but how many of us actually put our actions into motion? Next, we'll go one-to-one with Corbin Billings, a young man doing his best to make Tulsa a better place to live.
I listened to Side 1. They talked about trial and error, living your dreams, doing great things for your world, and making a difference with your life.
Listening to audio tapes motivated 9-year-old Corbin Billings to do more than watch cartoons. Corbin is doing his part to keep the air clean. He wants to raise enough money to plant 1,000 trees in Tulsa, and he's using his own money for the publicity campaign.
It doesn't matter on the size of your body. It matters on the size of your heart. So you can do anything if you just put your mind to it.
And joining us tonight, one-to-one, is Corbin Billings. Thanks a lot, Corbin, for being with us.
Hello.
We appreciate you being here, but then again, you wouldn't pass up the opportunity
Yeah.
push out some publicity on your campaign, which is to save the environment, so to speak.
To get clean air.
Why do you want to do that?
Well, I have allergies, and breathing is very, very important to me. So clean air, basically, to me, is vital.
What will the trees do for that?
Well, trees, number one, they help with flooding problems. Not that that has anything to do with my cause, but that just helps. But trees capture the carbon dioxide that pollutes the atmosphere, and that's the really bad thing that the atmosphere has, and it captures it in its wood, and it releases oxygen, which helps the air, and it helps us breathe.
And we don't have enough trees in our area, do you think?
Yes.
We need more.
That will stop the allergies being so bad for most kids like me and others.
Do you know where you want to plant the trees?
No, we're leaving that to Up With Trees, because they have set a little thing for money aside for us. I can't think of the word right now, but
some fund or a bank account, or
fund,
okay.
Yeah.
What is it that's different about you to do things like this compared to the typical 9-year-old who would probably rather be playing outside?
Well, I think most 9-year-olds just don't think that they can do anything, and that's the whole reason that I'm doing this. I'm doing this so that kids can realize that they can make a difference, and so can adults.
Your mother also helped motivate you by saying she would pay you, I think, $2.55 an hour, and also provide the most important thing to kids, it seems these days, a few Beanie Babies to go along with it. That was a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So is that what really motivated you, or was it something else inside?
Well...
You're going to be honest, aren't you?
Kind of. The thing that motivated me the most was that the allergies that I have. I mean, why wouldn't I want to help my allergies? I mean, I really want to be able to breathe a lot better. And I want to be able to breathe very well and everything like that. So it was half and half.
And I should really be fair, because the air quality thing wasn't really your mother's idea. She wanted to motivate you, but how did you come up with that yourself?
Well, I was listening to a tape that was called Science of Self-Confidence by Brian Tracy. And
every 9-year-old does that. And
he talked about trial and error, living your dreams, doing great things for your world, and making a difference with your life on side 1. But the real thing started on side 2 when he talked about setting goals. And so after about 15 minutes of that, he said, you need to set a goal bigger than yourself. And so I said, Mom, I need to set a goal bigger than myself. And she said, now? Because it was like 9:45. And so...
And you're doing that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Corbin, for being with us one-to-one, and good luck with all that you do in your campaign to save the environment and help us breathe better. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Life savings to make his dream come true. A little later, we'll have an update on Corbin Billings to see if he's getting any closer to his goal of planting 1,000 trees in Oklahoma. The boy who wanted to decorate Oklahoma with more trees has reached his goal in only 2 months' time. Corbin Billings originally wanted to collect enough money to get 1,000 trees in Tulsa, but he has 100,000 donations, or at least enough to put that many trees in the area. The response was so overwhelming, Corbin met with Mayor Susan Savage to talk about where trees can be planted in Tulsa. During the meeting, the two exchanged gifts to show how appreciative they were of the efforts being made toward the project being fulfilled. The mayor says she plans on finding places for all the trees to be planted. That's our time for now. Thanks a lot for being with us. Karen Larson with all the latest news for you tonight at 10. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Let's talk dreams, shall we?
One of mine is coming true at this very minute. What a great privilege and honor to speak with all of you. Just 1 year ago, I wouldn't have believed that this was possible for me. But here I am. Let me tell you how it all began. It all began when my mom finished her research for her book, Greatness in Children, Learn the Rules. Part of her research studied the negative effects that television can have on children. So, to combat negative television, she got this station called TPN. I really wasn't too thrilled with the idea of watching it at first, but she told me that if I watched it with her just 1 hour a day, I could have a new Beanie Baby at the end of the week. So I decided, why not? My mom says that watching what she unlovingly refers to as trash TV is like watching the movie Titanic. People begin their journey with excitement, hope, and possibility, only to crash into the trash, watching their dreams sink beneath them, leaving them drowning in a sea of frustration. But watching TPN is like watching the movie Titanic backwards. The movie begins with lost and hopeless people freezing in the sea of limitations, and magically, a magnificent ship comes from nowhere, rescues the people, and sails everyone back to New York, where they end with a big celebration. As you can see, my mom believes that watching TPN can completely turn lives around. Thank you. One day, last May, my mom came to me and asked me if I wanted a job. I said, doing what? She said, becoming great. I thought to myself, she's practicing what she has written about on me. Oh no, what do I do? She told me all I had to do was listen to tapes by successful people the hour before I went to sleep. That didn't sound too hard, but I asked her how much she would pay. She told me $2 an hour, but I had been watching that negotiator guy on TPN. So I said 3. She said 250, and we settled for 255. That night, my mom put on The Science of Self-Confidence by Brian Tracy, and I listened to side 1. He talked about trial and error, living your dreams, doing great things for your world, and making a difference with your life. At the end of side 1, I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I got up and ran to my mom's study. I told her, Mom, you have to come here and listen to this tape with me. It talks about everything that you believe in and everything that you love. She said, not now, Corbin. I'm busy. I'm working on finishing my new book. I gave her my sad puppy face and said, please. The sad puppy face always gets her. So she said, all right, I'll come. She turned off her computer and came to listen to side 2 with me. Side 2 was about setting goals. After about 15 minutes, I jumped up and said, I need to set some goals. My mom said, now? It was 9:45 and just a little past my bedtime. I told her, yes, you heard him. Goals are important. So she indulged me. My first goal that I set was to make $15 that week listening to tapes. Which I did accomplish. My second goal was to continue to be a straight-A student, which I'm still accomplishing. Then I said, I need to set a goal bigger than me. My mom said, well, what's bigger than you? I said, I'm just a kid. Everything's bigger than me. So what should I pick? I told my mom to pick my goal for me. After all, she's the writer. But she said she couldn't do that. I asked her, how am I supposed to do it then? She said, look inside your heart and find what you're passionate about. So I thought, and I thought, pollution! I am passionate about cleaning up the air. I have restrictive air disease and breathing is very important to me, so clean air is vital. My mom asked me what I wanted to do about pollution. I told her my goal was to help raise money for scientists to continue their work on natural gas cars and get people to help me plant 1,000 trees in Oklahoma by the end of 1998. I had watched Mark Victor Hansen when he talked about his goal to plant 100,000 trees. He said that trees not only help with the atmosphere, they help with flooding problems. And if we plant fruit trees, they will help create a source of natural and healthy food for the homeless. I told my mom that I wanted to print bumper stickers that said, Corbin says, do your share to get clean air. I also wanted to have my picture on them. But my mom said, Corbin, no one knows who you are. I said, not yet! I used the money that I had been saving from my birthdays and special occasions for 9 whole years to pay for having the bumper stickers printed. They are free for a donation or any commitment that will help me to get clean air around the world. I just happen to have brought them with me, so don't even think about going home without one. When it comes to making a difference in the world, I'm like Patricia Fripp, an absolutely shameless self-promoter. Since May, I've been talking to anyone that would listen. I would talk to 3 mosquitoes in a phone booth if they would promise to plant a tree. All of a sudden, I ended up being the speaker at the Earth Day Sunday service at a church. From there, other people requested that I come to their church. The American Lung Association asked me to be their speaker for their annual luncheon. The newspapers, the television stations, all picked up my story, and I found myself talking to a lot of people, which, by the way, I love doing. I was talking to anyone that would listen to my plea for the environment. In 10 weeks, I not only reached my goal, I multiplied it by 169 times. I was able to get commitments for 169,105 trees so far for the state of Oklahoma. Thank you. Thank you. I got to meet with the mayor of Tulsa, the governor of Oklahoma, and more importantly, I have the privilege of meeting all of you today. I have learned some important things from my experience. One thing that I have learned is that nothing great happens in a vacuum. No great man or woman does anything alone. We are only truly great when we dedicate our lives to benefiting the lives of others. That is what TPN is all about. Thank you. That is why my newest commitment is to help inspire people to clean up the air inside their heads. By watching TPN. Who knows? Maybe I could be the youngest member of the TPN faculty. If I were the youngest member of the TPN faculty, my first lesson for all of you would be about desire. Desire is where it all begins, but desire by itself is not enough. Desire requires follow-through and persistence to make your dreams happen. To explain, I'll use an example of a drive-through restaurant. First, you have to pull up to a small box where a person who is learning English as their second language asks you what you want. Now, I gotta tell you, that is desire. You can want a chicken sandwich really bad, but no matter how much you desire it or how many times you tell that box what you want, you still don't get no sandwich. You have to take action, step on the gas, and drive up to the next window where a person takes your money. That's what we call paying your dues. Do you get your sandwich now? Not at this drive-thru. It wouldn't matter how many times you paid the lady, you still don't get no sandwich. It doesn't matter how big your desire is. It doesn't even matter that you paid your money for the sandwich. What matters is did you keep going and never, never give up until you reach that final window? Only there can you collect your sandwich. I have many things that I feel passionate about. One, as you can tell, is TPN. If you love your children, if you want them to do more, be more, and give more, if you want them to know what my hero and mentor, Les Brown, knows and teaches, that there's greatness within them and that they can use that greatness to create great things for themselves and others, you must have TPN in your home and help others to get it in theirs. A home without TPN is like an unfinished drive-through experience with no sandwich. Okay. Without TPN, parents are one window shy of feeding their children's hearts and souls the best thing that they will ever taste. greatness. At this time, I would like to share a poem with you that my mother wrote. And many of you were here the first day when Les Brown dedicated his signature poem to me. Well, Les Brown, I dedicate my signature poem that my mother wrote to you. It is called Reach for the Stars. Reach for the stars, and along your way, encourage others by what you say. Live big, live brave, live your purpose full out. Know what you want and what you're about. Have direction and goals that are larger than life. With courage, stand tall to face fear and strife. Give all that you've got, and then give some more. Say grace for the family and friends you adore. Never give up or settle for less. For whatever you dream, you shall possess. Take nothing for granted. Be ready to win. Set your sights high. Take action, begin. Before you know it, because of your stand, you'll awaken one day with a star in your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. TPN can aid you in feeding your children's hearts and souls, concentrating helpings of hope, possibility, greatness, and self-discipline. Now that is a recipe for success. Just add love and get ready for miracles, because in the words of another one of my heroes, Paul J. Meyer, when it comes to TPN and miracles, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to, on behalf of everybody at TPN and Corbin and to everybody else, please welcome the next faculty member on TPN. Chris, you're on, buddy. You got it. You're doing your job.
Thank you.
Oh, man. You got it. It's all you, buddy. Go sell some bumper stickers, will you?
Okay. And another thing? I would like to thank my mother for always standing by me. And every time that I was on the floor crying because I was tired of doing this stupid speech over and over again.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
But she stuck by me every single step of the way. And I would, second of all, like to thank Maggie for sticking with me. And I know that she is with me right now. And that she is just beyond the moon. And that I love her so much. Thank you all. And there's just one more thing.
I need this.
I would also like to thank God for giving me the opportunity and the courage to come up here and speak with all of you. And right here, ladies and gentlemen, is my mother, Dawn Billings.
Before TPN, Corbin started wearing glasses at 5 years old. He's always been a little chunky. He's always been really smart. And he didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I want you to know I'm a single mom. I raised my son with this community called TPN. And I want to thank you.
Thank you.